You will be disliked. People are going to disagree with you. People are going to just straight up not like you. You will be criticized. You will be hated. And you will even be hated by the people you thought loved you. And all of these things are okay. It is not your responsibility in life to be liked by everybody else. It is your responsibility to create the life that you desire and remember that you are the captain of your ship. When people dislike you or they say something about you, everybody always has their own angle to different things. They have their own reason for saying the thing that they're saying. And I truly believe that when you really bring people together, in person, like outside of the social media atmosphere, and if you put everyone in a circle sitting together in the same house, most people would get along if you actually got to know that person's heart. And so when people aren't liking you on the internet, or they're saying things about you, or they're talking, they're usually doing it because they have you out of context. They don't even know who you are. They haven't taken the time to really get to know your heart, and or they're projecting and they're playing another game, meaning they're playing like the virtuous game by hating on you and making you look bad. It makes them more virtuous, and that makes them feel better about themselves. And something that has really, really helped me get super seen, famous on the internet, have a massive multi-million-dollar company, be a millionaire, know so many people around the world, have thousands of people watching me all the time, is being able to understand that everyone's going to have their own experience of you. They're going to like you at one time, hate you the next, come back. But if you continue to trailblaze and build and pioneer the movement that you really want to be building, people will come and go, and they'll eventually, most people will come around once they get to know your heart and go, I actually really like this person, but maybe they were in a bad place. I actually just posted a really good thread this week, and it said something like, them when you first get started, like, ugh, she'll never make it. Them when you start going for it, ugh, she's such a tryhard, so cringe. Them when you start making money, ugh, she's only obsessed with money. And then when they realize it was a them problem and not a you problem, hi, I would like to hire you. And that is going to happen over and over and over again. And people are going to have their own experience of you, and that's okay. I can truly say, like, from the bottom of my heart, there are people online that I set boundaries with, or I wouldn't associate myself with, or I wouldn't do a collaboration with. But that doesn't mean I feel ill hearted about them. That means that they're playing a different game than me, and that's okay. And a lot of people get so like, it's just like they're not emotionally aware of what's going on, that they let what other people are saying, doing, thinking, feeling about them to determine their worth. And the reality is like, when you get really big, when you start winning, you're standing in the light, you're naturally going to have shadows. You're going to have people that hate you no matter what. They're going to hate you whether you go for it. They're going to hate you and judge you if you settle and go for less. So if you make a lot of money and you're super successful, they'll be like, ugh, like, it's not real, or oh, like, I can't believe she's doing that, like, ew, she's so money, whatever, or whatever it is in your life, right? Like, being really sexy, or feeling really beautiful. Or the other way is, if you don't go for it, they're like, yeah, I knew she would never make it. And when they say things like that, what they're actually saying is like, it's validating that you didn't make it, because it makes them feel better about themselves. Or they'll say things like, yeah, she was never actually meant for greatness. She said that. And so they're going to judge you no matter what. And so you might as well go be the biggest, boldest, baddest version of yourself in this world, because people aren't going to like you anyways. And it's so much more important that you like you. It's one of the best things I've learned to do over the last 29 years of my life is really love all pieces of the journey, loving the challenge, loving the criticism, loving the failures, loving the highs, loving the mountaintops, loving the biggest achievements and milestones, and really just falling in love with the entire process itself, because you gain so much wisdom that most people won't ever get. And really, what you're paid for as a service provider is you're paid for wisdom. But most people bypass challenges, which I talk about all the time. Challenges are wisdom making machines, and wisdom equals wealth. Most people bypass challenges because they think that if they avoid the challenge, they're going to be, it's safer, it's easier. And it's like, yes, that's exactly why it's called the 1%, because the challenge filters out like a rag. It like squeezes out all of the people that aren't going to be successful, and it filters everyone out until you get that one diamond, that one person that is willing to do what it takes and willing to go through the refinement of the stone, the chiseling of the stone to become that person. It's the same thing in like exercise as you're refining and toning the body. And most people aren't willing to go through a little bit of a challenge to get that refinement in the body. And that's why when you look at someone who's incredibly fit, who's, have you ever seen a before and after photo of someone's story? It's like, it's so inspiring. A before and after photo of their body going from super obese to very fit, because you know what it took to get there. And that's why if you've ever seen a post like that go viral on the internet, people, most of the time, your brain is naturally like, oh my God, this is amazing. Everyone loves the hero's story, the hero's journey. This is the story of Jesus in the Bible. This is Star Wars. This is Lord of the Rings. This is literally every single book, Narnia, like that you are obsessed with, has a hero's journey inside of it. Most stories have that, and that's why those stories become so successful, because that's truly at the core of what people want, is they want to see someone evolve. But you won't become the hero if you're too busy focused on what the pawns, the villains, or everybody else is saying about you. You become the hero by willing to withstand the storm, by willing to not run from the storm, but chase the storm and be steady in the storm and come out on the other side and be so much stronger. And so if you've gotten hate, if you've gotten people that don't like you, congratulations, you're standing in the light. So Freedom Queen, if you got value out of this, reminder to share this to your Instagram story, tag me at Bridget James Ling and Team Freedom Queen. And every single Friday, I select a winner from the podcast to get a prize. And every time you share an episode, it could be any episode in the that's on the podcast. Doesn't have to be this one. And you will get a chance to be selected for the prize that I drop every single weekend. So Freedom Queen, if you are standing in the light, you have shadows. Who cares if people don't like you? They're going to like you one day, hate you the next day, like you again, and then go through that whole cycle. You might as well just radically love yourself.